All right, so ever wonder how people actually go from flat broke to millionaire? I mean, it's a question a lot of us have, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's like the ultimate financial dream for a lot of folks.
Right. And today we're going to take a deep dive into one specific story
Oh, cool.
from an episode of the Cash $4 Finance Show. And this one focuses on John Carter.
Okay.
It was this 28-year-old guy from Texas
Right.
who actually did just that. He went from being broke to a millionaire. And we're going to break down how he actually did it.
Sounds good. I'm intrigued.
So let's jump right in. And the reason this story is so interesting is because John didn't win the lottery or inherit a bunch of money or something like that.
Right.
He started out like a lot of people.
Actually, in the trenches. Yeah.
He had $50,000 in student loan debt.
Oh, wow.
And he was only making $2,500 a month.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in for sure.
So he's starting from a place where a lot of people, listening can probably relate to.
Oh, absolutely. That's like the classic, post-college financial struggle right there.
Totally. And so the question is, what was his first move? How did he even start to turn things around?
Well, the podcast mentions that he took a bit of a risk, but a calculated one.
Okay, so what did he do?
Instead of just hoping for a raise or, waiting for some lucky break.
Which, let's be honest, we've all probably done at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Totally guilty of that myself sometimes. But John decided to invest in himself, basically.
Okay, how so?
He took $500 and he enrolled in this online digital marketing course.
Interesting. So he's betting on himself and learning new skills.
Exactly. And what's even more interesting is that he specifically chose to focus on SEO and content creation, stuff that businesses really need these days.
Uh-huh. So he was picking up skills that were in high demand.
Exactly. He was thinking ahead. And get this, within just 6 months, he launched his own marketing agency.
Whoa, hold on. So he turned that knowledge into a business that quickly.
Yep. And he started pulling in an extra $5,000 a month.
That's huge. So it seems like it was more than just luck here, right?
Absolutely. The Cash $4 team actually analyzed a bunch of self-made millionaire stories, and they found that there were 5 common traits that these people shared.
Okay, so it's not just about working hard, it's about working smart.
Exactly. They argue that you need a certain mindset and approach to really achieve this level of success.
Makes sense. So what are these 5 magic traits?
All right. Well, the first one we already saw in John's story. It's taking calculated risks, like investing in that course.
Right, putting some skin in the game.
The second one is investing in skills before assets. So that means learning how to make money before you go out and buy a bunch of stocks or real estate.
Oh, so it's like learning to fish before you buy the fancy boat.
Exactly. You got to have the skills to actually generate wealth first.
Got it. What else?
The third trait is prioritizing personal finance education. Read books, take courses, really understand how money works.
So don't just wing it.
Nope. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your finances.
All right, number 4.
Actively invest your savings, even if it's a small amount. You got to make your money work for you.
Okay, so even if you're not rolling in it, you can still start investing.
Absolutely. And the final trait is building multiple income streams. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
So diversify your income, make it come from different places.
Precisely, this spreads your risk and creates more opportunities.
Okay, so these traits seem like they could apply to anyone, really, not just aspiring millionaires.
Oh, absolutely. They're like fundamental principles for financial success in general.
I see. But let's bring it back to John. How did these traits specifically play out in his story?
Okay, so after his marketing agency took off, and he was making good money, remember?
Yeah, $5,000 a month extra.
Exactly. He took that income and he bought a rental property.
Ah, so that's where the investing in assets comes in.
Precisely, he chose a duplex in a growing area, which the Cash $4 show pointed out was a really smart move. Well, a duplex provides 2 rental incomes instead of 1, and because it was in a growing area, the value of the property was likely to increase over time.
Ah, so he was setting himself up for both steady cash flow and potential appreciation.
Right. He was thinking long-term and strategically.
So he basically checked off a bunch of those millionaire traits, right?
Yeah.
He took calculated risk, invested in skills, first built a business, and then built an asset that generated passive income.
Exactly. He put all the pieces together.
It's pretty impressive. So what actionable steps does the podcast suggest for those of us who are listening and maybe inspired by John's story?
Well, they really hammer home the idea of starting a profitable and scalable side hustle. Something that can grow over time.
Okay, so what does that mean exactly?
Think about what skills you have that you could turn into a service or a product that people would pay for.
Ah, so it's about leveraging your strengths and finding a way to monetize them.
Precisely. And they also reinforce the idea of investing in assets rather than liabilities.
All right, so instead of buying that fancy car that loses value the minute you drive it off the lot.
Exactly. Put your money into things that will appreciate in value or generate income, like stocks, real estate, or even a digital business like John did.
Gotcha. And of course, they emphasize the importance of continuous education.
Oh, yeah. Never stop learning, whether it's through books, courses, or even just talking to people in fields you're interested in.
Networking is key.
Absolutely. Knowledge is your most valuable asset.
So it seems like it all comes back to that mindset shift you were talking about earlier.
Right. Instead of just dreaming of becoming a millionaire, focus on developing the skills and knowledge that create financial freedom.
So it's about the journey, not just the destination.
Exactly. And what's so fascinating is that if you develop those traits and take those actions, the money might just end up being a byproduct of the whole process.
It's like you attract wealth by becoming the kind of person who can create it.
That's a great way to put it.
So for anyone listening who wants to make that leap from broke to millionaire or just achieve financial success in general, John Carter's story shows that it's totally possible.
Absolutely. It's not about luck or magic. It's about having the right mindset, taking smart actions, and building a solid foundation for yourself.
It's inspiring to see that someone can achieve so much in just a few years with the right approach.
It really is. And it all starts with taking that first step, like John did with that digital marketing course.
What's your first step going to be?
That's a great question. I think I'm going to revisit my budget and see where I can free up some cash to invest in my own skills.
There you go. That's the spirit. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be featuring your story on this deep dive.
Haha, from broke to financial guru. I like the sound of that.
It could happen. You never know.
I know.
All right, that's it for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
See ya. Bye.